blacklist, okay?
Another game. That's why we end our season with this game and see if best team can pull forward at the end and see if we can get a win out of it. So
good luck to you, Coach. Good luck to you and your players.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, Burlington High School and St. Stephen's High School, our 1A boys championship game on the slate for this afternoon. We'll be back to the floor of the Casper Event Center right after this.
Welcome back to the Casper Event Center. We're about 17 minutes away from the opening tap. The boys 1A game is up first. St. Stephen's 17-12 on the year. Burlington 23-3, and 2 of those losses to 2A teams. On the surface, it would appear Burlington has an advantage, having beaten St. Stephen's twice, but the Eagles have been years and won a state title.
Well, Jack, as we talked about, from a coaching standpoint, it's really tough to beat a team 3 times, especially a well-coached team, a very sound fundamental team, and it's a task they're going to have to get ready to get those kids up to beat them a 3rd time.
If you're a coach coming into this setting like this, you know St. Stephen's is going to have a rabid crowd behind them. They had a packed house last night at Casper College. How much does that play into the ballgame?
Well, a little different venue, playing in the event center,
right.
and I think this still is a team that's really going to get out and run St. Stephen's. They want the ball. Davis is an explosive player, but they got quite a venue to run in this place. It's a 94-foot court, and they're a team that likes to play exciting basketball. I think Burlington, on the other hand, is going to try to hold the ball. And as Coach Self talked to us today a little bit, they want to get out and run, but they also have to have the ball to run with it. And to do that, you've got to rebound.
St. Stephen's gets here beating Guernsey 59-51, 46-45 over Farson last night. Meanwhile, Burlington with a 69-55 win over Lingle and 39-33 over Encampment. Let's go back to the Pepsi desk. Brian Scott has Dan Kraft from Encampment.
That would be the guy. Thank you very much, Jim.
Jack Noakes, Matt Stranigan back at the event center, about 7 minutes or so away from the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. A 1A championship this afternoon between St. Stephen's, 2-time defending champs. The last team to win it other than St. Stephen's, Burlington, the Huskies.
Well, that's really quite a record. If you take a look at the last 3 years for St. Stephen's, 3 years for Coach Self, and 3 years playing for a state championship, 2 of which he's won, and he's going after another one. That's pretty impressive.
We saw the Eagles fall behind 15-0 to Farson last night and then rally to win 46-45. This is a team, obviously, you never count out.
Well, a couple things can happen for a team with a slow start, one of which Farson's a pretty good basketball team, and they were playing exceptionally well to begin that game. But also you wonder about whether or not they were overconfident, looking past them and St. Stephen's, that is, getting ready for another championship. But to their credit, they got back in the game well before halftime and eked out a 1-point victory.
Burlington just the opposite style, 39-33 over Encampment in the semifinals. This is a team that can be very deliberate, but they have some athletes that can run if they want to.
Well, and I think Burlington is the type of team that can beat St. Stephen's. They're very disciplined defensively, where St. Stephen's likes to jump in the passing lanes and get to running early. Burlington's a team that's held a rebounding disparity, an advantage over their opponents, 19 rebounds a game. And the Chiefs want the ball, and if you're rebounding the ball that well for Burlington, it's really tough to run.
Final poll of the season, St. Stephen's ranked 5th. Burlington ranked 1st. They've been ranked 1st the entire season. As we said, 3 losses, 2 of them to Grable and 1 of them to Hannah last week in the regional. St. Stephen's has been an up-and-down year. Tony Self said he's had some kids that have been sick. He's had other kids come in and out and back. 17-12, but throw the record out.
Well, and this is a team, as we've talked about, they really like to run. That's no secret. And Coach Self talked about they battled the flu to the point for all through February. They were fighting illness, and it remains to be seen whether or not they're healthy and they're able to run 94 feet for the whole ball game.
Maybe the most exciting player in the state, almost at any level, and I haven't seen them all, but Darren Davis for the Eagles, just a junior, but a very talented athlete.
Well, and they really want to get the ball in his hands, and I felt like he was the difference last night. I think he only ended up with 8 points, but they were struggling a little bit. Felt like Farson was really in control of that game. Davis made a couple of great moves and a couple of big baskets before halftime and really got him back in rhythm.
A lot of Christensen kids have gone through the grades in Burlington over the years. Got another good one, Brandon, who's kind of the key to the Burlington team.
Well, and I think Burlington's just got a lot of good kids. You know, they've got some just solid kids across the board. They're a very balanced team in terms of scoring. They're a balanced team in terms of who plays defense and who boards. So it's really going to be an interesting matchup.
So it'll be St. Stephen's and Burlington. A chance for the Eagles to win their third consecutive state championship. Will the Huskies deny them here? We'll come back and have that coming up right after we do this.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job, girls.
Well, we'll get the introduction of the players for tonight's first ball game, early afternoon first ball game, I guess, between the homestanding Burlington Huskies and the visitors from St. Stephen's. The Eagles, as we said, coming in with a number 5 ranking and 3 state championships. Burlington, a number 1 ranking, and last won it in 2003. Let's go to the public address announcer, Pat Fitzgerald, who will introduce the players and coaches for you.
If you are our teams tonight are the visitors from St. Stephen's High School, the Eagles, and her home team on the scoreboard, the Burlington High School Huskies. Our non-starters for tonight's game: for the Eagles, number 32, Jake Ironcloud. For the Huskies, number 1, Courtney Neves. Eagle, number 25, Blaine Oldman. Husky, number 3, Paul Christensen. Eagle, number 45, Derek Arthur. Huskies, number 10, Paul Cook. Eagle, number 13, Ryan Gambler. Husky, number 12, Coulter Neves. Eagles, number 10, Braxton Ridgely. Huskies, number 13, Ethan George. Eagles, number 23, Lynn Wynn. Burlington, number 4, Joseph Davidson. Eagles, number 52, Philip Whiteplume. And for the Huskies, wearing 0, Todd Davidson. And now the starters for tonight's game. For the Eagles, 6'1" and a sophomore, number 22, Charles Lone Dog. For the Huskies at 5'10" and a senior, number 2, Stetson Kaufman. An Eagle at 6'3", a junior, number 3, Wambly Burnett. A Husky at 6'2", also a senior, wearing number 4, Ross Davidson. For the Eagles, a junior, 6 foot even, number 42, Steve Seahair. For the Huskies, a senior, 5'10", number 5, Corey Bullinger. An Eagle, 6'2", a junior, number 24 is Donovan Blackburn. A Husky, 6'2" and a senior, number 11, Josh Prater. For St. Stephen's, 5'11" and a junior, number 1, Darren Davis. For Burlington, a senior at 5'8", number 15, Brandon Christensen. The Eagles are coached by Tony Self, assisted by Ricky Blackburn and Mike Nosey. The Huskies are coached by Dan LaRose, assisted by Rolando Cortez and David Loveland. Our officials for tonight's game, Mr. Wilkinson and Mr. Harris.
Well, we're set to go. The first of 4. It's 1A, 2A state tournament time. March Madness at the Casper Event Center. Good to have you along on what promises to be an exciting Saturday of high school basketball.
I think this is going to be fun, Jack. A 1A matchup of two contrasting styles, and I got a little bit scared just watching the Eagles warm up. It's a very athletic team, and we'll see how some of these early matchups dictate tempo.
Well, it will be Burnett jumping center against Prater. The height advantage will go to Burnett at 6'3", Prater just a shade under 6 foot, and the Eagles will control the opening tap, moving from right to left here at the Casper Event Center. Darren Davis with the ball in his hands, and he's kind of the key to this whole St. Stephen's team. Although, as you said, there's a lot of good athletes, he stands out about a lot of them. And here's an early turnover as Burlington will get it on the run out. All the way down, Prater will draw the blocking foul and go to the line for a couple. Donovan Blackburn not set in time.
Well, nice help by Blackburn, but just a step late getting over there, and certainly a charge. But we saw some pretty good help defense. And Kaufman's the one that's got the night scheduled for him. He's got the matchup with Davis. Little nice back cut by Davis, but good help side team defense by the Huskies.
Prater 22 in the quarterfinals, 10 in the semis last night, and he gives the Huskies a 1-0 lead. A little bit of an undercut will send into the line for a pair. Second one on the way, and he's got net. And Burlington out quickly here with a pair of free throws.
Well, Burlington in their base man-to-man defense, and they do a lot of different things out of this set. They like to pressure the ball, they'll do some trapping, but right now they're picking up at the arc, at the three-point line, and the Eagles are setting up their offense out high.
Kaufman, a man who will get Davis. They like to get him the ball. Here's Blackburn for the first shot of the ball game. That's no good by St. Stephen's. Scrambling for the rebound, and it'll be taken away by the Huskies. Quickly ahead, Bullinger out of backcourt.
Nice inside rebounding position by the Huskies on that last possession.
Christensen kind of runs things out top. Bullinger is the point guard, but a lot of what Burlington does goes through Christensen. High post feed will be knocked loose, then gathered back by the Huskies. A little one-hander with the left in the lane is no good, as Corey Bullinger couldn't get it to go, and here comes the Eagles. They played just over a minute, and they haven't scored.
Well, another good look at the athleticism of the Eagles. Donovan Blackburn really battling inside for that post with that rebound.
Lone Dog out front looking. They'll go down low, little fall away on baseline. That's a nice shot. Wombly Burnett had 12 in each of the first 2 games here at State.
Well, good low post position as you see the inside pass. Missed the little bunny, but a good low post position. But again, Wombly Burnett with the fadeaway.
Tied at 2 as Prater misses the layup. They'll go back down low and try Burnett again. That's good.
Again, good low post defense, but again, Blackburn just elevates and shoots the ball over the top. He's a kid that really, I think, is in his first year of organized basketball, and you bring that street game to organized basketball, the one thing you bring is some athleticism.
4-2, Eagles on top. Huskies on the attack in their white uniforms. They're the home team here this afternoon. They'll swing it way out on the left side to Christensen, who will try a long 3. That's no good, and a long rebound gathered back by Bullinger. All the way down, sets up Prater for that jumper on the lane, or on the baseline. That's no good, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by St. Stephen's. So Burlington getting some looks here early, wide open looks, but not able to convert.
Well, a little difference from what we saw the Eagles last night. Really not extending and contesting out front, playing really good position defense, and Burlington settling for that 3 on that last possession.
Prater is in the land of 3 in the corner, now puts it on the floor and gets it to the guard. A reload outside. Davidson loses his dribble, cutter in the lane as Bullinger goes down, but again, Burlington comes up with a loose ball. Right now, the Huskies struggling to put the ball in the hole, trailing 4-2 with a pair of free throws 3 minutes in. And that taken away nicely on the baseline by Donovan Blackburn.
And he's made his presence felt early.
Davis to Blackburn. Swings it all the way across court. Ball knocked loose and comes away again to Davis. Seahair had his shot partially blocked. Davis now for a long three that turns into a pretty good looking pass, and the foul on the rebound as Lone Dog went up with it and was hammered.
Well, that's really one thing that I think the Eagles have got to be conscious about, and that's shot selection. That was a pretty good looking shot, but it was from about 28 feet and only 26.
Prater will get the first foul of the afternoon for the Huskies, and it will put Charles Lone Dog, a 6'1 sophomore, at the line for two. First one's good.
Charles Lone Dog.
One shot, let it hit.
Nice effort here. You can see maybe that foul on the reach early on.
Never really got the ball to the basket, and he can't convert. Second one no good. Prater with a rebound. Huskies want to run it now, and Bullinger's going to go coast to coast. Throws it off the glass, didn't get the call, goes down hard, and the Eagles will come away on the run. Now they'll slow it up. Bullinger gets back in. Kaufman went for the steal, didn't get it, and then a foul whistled in the lane.
I think Brandon Christensen with the reach in, but really nice unselfish basketball by the Eagles. Davis on the dribble drive penetration, he gets picked up, and unselfishly he's looking for the open man. So really one thing that Coach Stelf wanted these kids to do is start at the tip, and they have done that.
Attack leading by 3. Davis covered up in the corner, bring it back out front. Burlington sticking with that man-to-man. Stetson Kaufman now will go out to pick up Darren Davis. St. Stephen's in a half-court offense right now, working off the high post. And then Davis launches a long three that's high off the iron, no good. Back the other way on the run to Prater, pull up, got it from the left-hand side.
He's a pretty good athlete, 6'2", averaging 11 points a game, and really got up in the air and elevate and got that one on the glass. Nice finish.
First basket of the ball game for the Huskies, draws them within one at 5-4. Davis, who's been hampered by a couple of ankle sprains, really was more of a playmaker than a scorer last night, but he can light them up in a hurry. Here's a pass down low that'll go out of bounds and over to the Huskies. We'll get a timeout on the floor. There's 3:21 left in the opening quarter here in the 1A Boys Championship. St. Stephen's 5, Burlington 4 from the Casper Events Center.
This exclusive telecast of the Wyoming High School Basketball Championships is brought to you by Hilltop National Bank, with the most banking and ATM locations in Casper and Glenrock.
Back at the Casper Events Center, 5-4 in favor of St. Stephen's. Burlington 1 out of 7 from the field. The Eagles aren't a whole lot better at 2 out of 5, each team with 5 rebounds, and the Huskies would like to get something going offensively.
Well, Jack, I think that's a key stat that you just have team rebounds apiece, and I think that's really important for the pace of this game because those are possessions.
Prater and Kaufman exchanging way out top now. Burlington can play the deliberate style. They've done that all year. They're patient, working it inside, and that shot is blocked away as Davidson wanted to go up strong and never really got a shot as Wombley Burnett came over and knocked it out of bounds.
The coach, I think you got to be happy with that foul, at least to the point that they're getting to the line of the ball. Ball goes into the pivot. Burnett came from the weak side wing to get a hand on that, and that's just really solid team defense.
They're going to give that to Lone Dog, his first and the second team foul. So a chance here for the Huskies to tie as Davidson misses the first and makes the second. Let's see if they're going to count that. We got a whistle here. Was somebody in the lane too soon, or are we looking at a substitution?
I've got to give credit to Mark Wilkinson on that call. I thought that block up top looked clean, but he had that call down low on the foul.
So Davidson makes the free throw to tie it with just a shade under 3 to go in the opening quarter. Davis will bring it ahead out of backcourt. On the right side. Out top for Blackburn. Bouncing down low. Over the Huskies on the turnover.
I really like what they're doing offensively, though, Jack. They're really, out of a 1-2-2 set, they're running down screens, and they're trying to attack the post inside, where last night everything was from the arc, really in transition. So they're really looking to attack the inside post.
Burlington trying to get back to the lead. They led it at the outset 2-0 on a pair of free throws. Trying to get back on top as we're tied at 5. Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the opening quarter. Nice look in the lane. Christensen tries to throw up the left-hander and draws the foul.
That looked like Steve Seahair on the reach. But nice team defense by the Eagles. Switching screens, back screen up top. They made an initial switch there, down screen away from the ball and picked that up. So really displaying the ability to play solid defense and not just gamble and jump in the lanes.
Christensen, the leading scorer for the Huskies last night, was 16, and he'll miss the first one. Brandon, 5'8", and a senior, plays a lot bigger than 5'8".
Well, returning conference co-player of the year with Davis. Solid kid.
Makes this one, the second one, to give his team a 1-point lead. Here is Davis. Still has the ball on the floor. Way out front for a long three. Nothing but net by Charles Lone Dog.
Charles Lone Dog, 3. T-shirt.
So the Huskies right back at it, down a deuce, 8-6 on the first three.
Nice high release by Lone Dog, and he's halfway to his average already with that three.
First three of the ball game for either team. The drive will not count by Stetson Kaufman as he was fouled out front. This will be the fourth team foul on the Eagles. Lone Dog will get his second of the ball game, and again, Burlington will set up underneath its own basket here and bring it in to Christensen in the corner. Looking in the high post, and Davidson into the lane will be fouled.
Good position defense, just 9 times out of 10. If you bring that hand down trying to block the shot, you're going to probably draw that whistle.
That's usually one of the keys. Tony Self saying all ball. Officials do not agree, and Wambley Burnett gets his first, the 5th team foul now on the Eagles here in the opening quarter. So Davidson to the free throw line, and the first one is good by Ross.
Pretty good position defense here inside, but again, you bring the ball
right on the arms.
Clear indication the officials weren't wrong.
Now he was on the arm, and after the missed free throw, a scramble and a hold called. And this one's going to go, I believe, on Wambley Burnett. That'll be his second. So right now, Burlington getting some calls, but able to only make 1 out of 2, it seems like, every trip to the line.
Well, and you want your kids to be aggressive, and I'm sure Coach Self has seen nothing but that. But again, reach fouls on possessions 40 feet away from the basket, you got to back off and play real solid.
6 team fouls will go to the 1-and-1 on the next one as Prater can't get it to go from deep inside, but it's batted back out front to the Huskies. Here's Bullinger looking down low for Prater, turns, misses again. Christensen can't corral the rebound, and it comes away to the Eagles. Davis will bring it out of backcourt.
You can see why they're such a good rebounding team. Christensen going to the boards from his guard position, almost got a hand on that to keep it alive.
8-7, Eagles leading by a point with the ball. Davis for a long one that's no good. Great rebound on a in between white shirts, but Burnett threw it away. Back the other way. All the way down court, and a block that time by Charles Lone Dog. Well, the Eagles are contesting all the shots.
Well, and they're really, I'm just impressed, Jack, with the way they played position defense. We didn't see that last night. They looked like they were trying to score points and jump into passing lanes, and they're just playing really solid in the half court.
Davidson, and they'll get it to Bullinger, the guard, who will set the offense out top. Looks to Christensen right in front of the Eagle bench. Here's the cutter in the lane. A little bit too hard of a shot from Ross Davidson. Davis with the rebound and the outlet ahead. The 2-on-1 break. Layup is no good.
Too bad, because that was textbook. Really took the ball to the basket, made the defender commit, and then gave it up.
Bullinger In the corner, they'll launch a long three, but again, get the rebound. Davidson sets for a three, gets net, and that's all. Here's Davis cheating back the other way. He'll take it and score it.
Nice anticipation by Davis, sneaking out on the weak side. Saw a teammate had real good inside rebound position, so he got down for the easy bunny.
Eagles match their big lead of three. Christensen leaves it short, and Kaufman can't control the rebound. Just 2 seconds to go here in the opening quarter, and St. Stephen's on top by a three.
Well, we got to remember, Jack, that this is a team, Burlington, that has beaten this team rather handily by 17, by 27. So the fact that it's a three-point advantage for the Eagles here at the end of the first quarter might make a difference down the road.
Aaron Davis launches a hooked shot, and 1 quarter in the books. The 1A boys state championship. Defending champions St. Stephen's 10, Burlington 7. Ready for the second quarter. Burlington 1 out of 15 in the opening quarter from the field. The Eagles are 4 out of 10. That pretty much tells the story as St. Stephen's leads. Burlington with the ball to Prater, and he can't get the layup to go again, but this time he'll go to the line for 2.
Well, Prater showing his athleticism, coming on the weak side on that flash cut. Defender got high side, really nice pass into the pivot, but last night may have been the magic for the Eagles, getting down 15-0. They've turned that around with a good start, a 10-7 lead.
Derek Arthur into the lineup, picks up the foul for St. Stephen's. Right now, the Huskies are 5 out of 9 at the free throw line as Prater misses the front end of the 2-shot foul. And misses the second one. The rebound will be chased down, though, by Davidson in the quarter. So the Huskies 1 for 16 from the field, desperately needing to get the lid off here.
Well, and they're really getting scoring opportunities. They're not coming down and turning the ball over there, but their scoring opportunities are at the free throw line and right now going for naught.
Well, Burlington on the attack to Christensen, working hard down the lane, pull up from 10, that's no good. Davis will sky and bring it out on the run for St. Stephen's.
Great defense in the half court again. They're about 4 shirts getting into the lane to stop that dribble drive as we see Davis with the turnaround fade.
That was all Darren Davis. Biggest lead of the ball game is 5. He did it from coast to coast, and he has the explosiveness to do that. 12-7 in favor of St. Stephen's. Davis with 4 points now. The cutter, the layup, got it this time. Bullinger converts with the left hand. Just a second field goal of the ball game for the Huskies.
Well, just a real simple basket cut. That defense has got to get ball side and not follow the cutter.
12-9, 3-point lead for the Eagles. Davis at the top to the elbow. Finds a man alone for a 3, and the shot is no good by Lone Dog. And a foul. Let's see if they'll count it. Arthur with a follow and a foul. The basket is good.
Well, Lone Dog took that shot right in front of us here, again showing a really nice release. But right now the Eagles are beating the Huskies at their own game. They're getting to the boards and playing really nice defense in the half court.
Ross Davidson gets his first, the third team foul for the Huskies. And a chance to get the biggest lead of the ball game right now for St. Stephen's. They will. As Arthur comes in, gets a big rebound, and then an old-fashioned three-point play. 15-9 in favor of St. Stephen's. Huskies on the attack out top. Kaufman just holds and will finally give it back. Looking down low, here's the feed in deep. Davidson got the roll this time. Ross with his first field goal of the ball game.
Well, that was just simple athleticism. There wasn't a very good passing angle on that top. It started from about 19 feet, hung in the air as we look at Davis.
He's not there, but Lone Dog is to clean it up for his 6th point of the ball game. Huskies in a hurry to get it back, and the tip up and no good. Bullinger missed, and Prater got a hand on it, cheating back the other way. Blackburn will pull up off the glass from 10. That's no good. And Burlington with another rebound. Pace right now picking up. That kind of favors St. Stephen's.
That's exactly what I was thinking. The pace is up tempo, and I think Burlington wants to settle in and into their half court and run some sets.
17-11, 5.5 to go here in the opening half. Out top with the basketball, Prater looking for Bullinger. He'll try from the right-hand side, and that will go out of bounds and over to St. Stephen's. The Huskies now 3 out of 21 from the field and a lot of short shots. I don't know if that's the Event Center effect or the St. Stephen's effect.
Well, Bollinger again, that time he rushed that a little bit. He had a teammate open on the corner on the rotation, but he's been the heady player that's kind of the calming influence, and maybe he's thinking if he can bury one and get him right back in this thing.
Ryan Gambler, 5'10 junior, checks into the lineup now for St. Stephen's. The Eagles leading by 6 with the basketball in the forecourt. Davis way out top, penetrates, kicks it off. Here is Burnett for a little fall away, a little short, and Prater will bring it ahead.
Well, again, great position defense by Davidson in the post that time.
There's Bollinger all the way with the left-hand layup from the right side and couldn't get it to go. I don't know, he's looking behind, thinking somebody's with him. Christensen with a wild turnaround jump shot that doesn't even draw iron, and here we come. Eagles can build on a 6-point lead. Trying to go baseline and shut off.
Eagles really playing under control. I think they're giving the ball up and kind of a fun dance. They're in the spread. They're trying to take their and try to create scoring opportunities for each other.
Nice feed. Davis on the baseline. He'll bury the 15-footer. He's got 6 and the lead is 8. Burlington gets the drive again from Davidson, and the foul will be whistled. That'll be team 7 now on the Eagles.
I think the St. Stephen fans are calling for charge, but you leave your feet. When you go airborne, you've got to have that position established and give the offensive player a chance to come down, which he did not.
Arthur gets his second. Ross Davidson with 4 points on the afternoon, including 2 out of 4 at the line. Will be shooting a pair here. 3 for 23 from the field, 5 for 10 at the line for Burlington. St. Stephen's 8 out of 18 from the field, 2 out of 3 at the line.
Well, see if we can take a look at this replay on the drive, the kick out, dribble drive here, takes it in the lane, just a step late, pretty good contact.
Prater tries to keep it alive on the offensive end. It'll go over to St. Stephen's. Well, the Eagles right now are in control with an 8-point lead and the basketball.
Well, it makes you wonder if that big backdrop here in the Event Center makes a big difference, because Burlington really not shooting the ball well from the free throw line, and I think they're a much better free throw shooting team over the course of the year than we've seen tonight.
Stetson Kaufman with a reach out front, his first and the 4th team foul for the Huskies. 19-11 in favor of the Eagles, who have lost by double digits twice this year to the Huskies. That doesn't matter here this afternoon. Here's Burnett in the lane, has his shot partially blocked and then taken away. Little trip in the backcourt, nothing called, and here come the Huskies out of backcourt. They'll try and slow the tempo now. Bollinger with the basketball.
Well, I think a good no call. Clearly a trip, not intentional. Both the kids going for the balls. We look at the full front. I think we got to walk.
Prater got loose underneath again, but guilty of shoveling his feet. We're going to get a timeout here. 3:48 to go, the opening half of the 1A boys title game. It's St. Stephen's 19, Burlington 11. Well, it's the basket this afternoon. Burlington 3 out of 23 from the field, 5 for 12 at the free throw line. The Eagles are 8 of 19 from the field, 2 out of 3 at the line. Turnovers, you would expect with the type of game St. Stephen's normally plays. Burlington have a bunch, they have 1, the Eagles have 4. And the Eagles right now out to an 8-point margin.
Well, operative word being normally, Jack, this isn't the team that we saw last night. I think it's really a transition, and the Eagles demonstrating as we look at a nice pass inside and the easy deuce. But they have played half-court solid position defense all night.
Lone Dog with his 8th point to lead all scorers in a 10-point lead now. Bollinger has it taken away. Here's Burnett. Quickly into the front court, looking in cross courts. Davis alone, high arc, got it. That's a 3. He's got 9, and the lead is 13.
Maybe another basket if they can't score here. Maybe think timeout and talk about this a little bit. 13-point game, they're rebounding with them, they're running with them, and the Eagles are totally in control of this one right now.
Courtney Neves is checked in during the timeout for the Huskies. And they'll miss a long three. Neves from the right side couldn't get it to go. Here we go. The Eagles trying to blow this one open in the second quarter. Doing a pretty good job of it right now as Arthur loses his dribble and gets it to Davis. Wynn and Davis exchanging in the half court.
Been very patient. Starting their offense about 45 feet away from the basket. Very patient getting into their sets.
Burlington still in the man-to-man as Davis drives, has his shot partially blocked and then thrown back in. They tried to throw it out of bounds. It went inbounds, and Lone Dog converts after a Wynn miss.
Well, Lone Dog showing some athleticism, getting inside position, and that's one of those, do you save the ball under your own basket? But the Eagles were in great position on that turnover and up the lead now 26-11 at the 2:14 mark.
Prater with his second. It will be the 5th team foul. Here's Lone Dog with 10 points on the afternoon and a chance to build the lead to 16.
And what happens in these situations, Jack, too, is you enter that zone of self-doubt. You wonder what's happening to you a little bit, and it's so important to maybe run a set play, get a couple easy baskets, and get back into this thing.
A steal by Neves, has it almost knocked away. Bullinger quickly ahead. Has the ball knocked loose, gathers it back all the way down the left side, and a foul whistled on the screen down low against Burlington.
Called on Corey Bullinger, his first.
Well, I think Bullinger called with a little push-off, and again shows that position, but that time the Eagles making Burlington play a little bit faster than they wanted to in the half court, just a little out of control.
26-11, 2 minutes to play here in the opening half. It's all St. Stephen's, the defending champs, looking for their third in a row, and another foul whistled away from the ball. And this one's going to go on Bullinger again. That's his second. And that'll be team 7, so here come the Eagles to the free throw line.
Well, and that's what you don't need. Now Lone Dog's got a chance at the charity stripe, but there was a little down screen away from the ball that really didn't factor into the possession, and Pat Harris doing a nice job keeping control of the game.
Charles Lone Dog, leading scorer of the ball game with 10. He had 11 in the quarterfinals against Guernsey, 9 last night in that 46-45 win against Farson, a long rebound. And Neves will pick it away for the Huskies, who are 3 for 24 from the field here in the opening half of this ball game.
But I don't think they'll continue to shoot this way. Again, they really haven't taken a lot of bad shots. It's just been some really solid team defense.
Last night, it was the Eagles that came from 15 down to win. There's the 3 out of the corner by Court Neves off the bench. And a desperately needed hoop for the Huskies.
Still 12 back with 1:20 to go.
26-14. Blackburn with the ball for Wynn. Steps up from 15, got it.
Had a feeling like Burlington was stepping up the defensive pressure a little bit, but Wynn answers that quick basket with the 18-footer.
Pass is telegraphed and taken away. Nice job of sidestepping the sideline, and the lead for Wynn. He'll convert.
Well, and there were bodies all over the floor. Mark Wilkinson went down, 2 Huskies went down, and just a great athletic play as that one goes to the band.
The Huskies in disarray right now. They're down 16, 30-14. Another turnover. That's the 4th of the ball game for Burlington, and it came at a time when they were just trying to get some momentum back.
Well, Burlington just not playing real together right now. The St. Stephen's Ball Club making some very tough shots, playing unselfishly in the half court, and shooting the ball extremely well.
Foul going to be whistled as Wynn off the bench has really provided some spark here for this Eagle team. That one will be against Courtney Neves, I believe.
It was just a great catch, jump stop, got the ball high on the glass, and maybe even better effort by Bullinger trying to get there. Goes over the top of a teammate, lucky he didn't get hurt.
Lynn Wynn now with his 5th point of the ball game. The lead grows to 17 here in the final half minute of the second quarter. This one's going to be short. He'll get his own rebound. Loose ball on the floor, scrambled and picked up in front of the Burlington bench by the Burlington team. Burlington fans wanted a foul. Not going to get it. Now let's see if they get the last possession of the opening half. Cross court. Head fake by Bollinger. Steps in the lane. Running one-hander is no good, but he'll go to the line with just 5 seconds to play.
Well, I like what Bollinger did that time. They have struggled mightily shooting the ball from the perimeter, and that time I think you got to start attacking the rim. You've got to see if the Eagles are going to block shots or get on the free throw line, but right now nothing happening on the perimeter.
4 for 25, 17% for the field for Burlington, 13 of 25, 53% for the Eagles as Bollinger steps up and gets his 5th point of the ball game. Just 5.5 seconds to go. Burlington going to send a couple of guys back and make sure that Darren Davis doesn't get loose. Second free throw no good. Blackburn clears to Davis. Out of the backcourt they come. Davis for a long three that's off the glass and no good. We'll head to the locker room. It's 31-14 in favor of the defending state champs.
Our shooters
I think Pat
for the
Self really
halftime
wanted to
shootout will be
get out for that tip,
Spring.
and felt like his team needed to start early, and they've gone beyond that. They started early, leading 31-15, and it's just really been a team in transition.
The Burlington cheerleaders.
Let's go Jack Noakes with Coach
Eagles
Self.
coach Tony Self with us. Couldn't ask for a better start for your ball club.
Oh no, we knew we couldn't get down early, and we haven't started good for a few games, and I couldn't be happy right now.
You know, they've had some open looks, haven't converted. You've gotten out on the run, and you guys just taking it to the hole.
Yeah, I think our offense has been patient, and our defense is getting some great stops.
You'll be smiling in the locker room. What are you going to tell them?
Keep up the good work.
Okay, Coach, go get him.
Thank you.
Tony Self, the head man for the Eagles, who's been there 3 years looking for his 3rd state championship. Let's go to the Pepsi desk and Brian Scott. Let's go to the break. Jack Noakes, Matt Stranigan back at the Casper Event Center. We head to the second half of the boys' 1A state title game. And right now it's all defending champion St. Stephen's as they lead at 31-15. You got to wonder if the Huskies went to the locker room in shell shock.
Well, it's kind of telling when teams are coming out for the second half. The Eagles were out at about 4.5 minutes. They were able to watch Scotty sweep the floor. Burlington, on the other hand, came out with about a minute left, and right now they've got to get back in this thing. There's a lot of time left, and we talked in the opener that it's tough to beat a team 3 times, and they've got that uphill battle facing them.
It's not like they haven't had open looks. They're 4 out of 25 from the field. The Eagles 13 of 26. That's the story of the ball game. Rebounds 22 in the first half for the Huskies, 20 for the Eagles. Turnovers are even at 4 apiece, but it is all St. Stephen's looking for its 3rd consecutive 1A boys title. And well on their way here as we head to the second half. They trailed by 15 last night in the semifinals and came back. Let's see if they can hold on to that kind of lead here this afternoon. Kicked out of bounds.
And I wonder if Burlington doesn't have to do something to change tempo a little bit, because right now the Eagles are very comfortable, and most teams that play them don't want them to get running, but right now they are very settled in their half-court offense and their half-court execution.
Davis will bring it in. Lone Dog content to dribble away and let Blackburn control things out front. Bollinger steps out, almost knocked it loose. Gathered back by Blackburn. Donovan has his pass blocked, and out of the backcourt on the run, Davidson has a man on the wing. David steps up. What a play, and intercepts that. Oh, is he an athlete?
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Great athleticism. Not only did he hustle back, make the steal, but caught it under control, identified the open man. Now he's got the take.
And he missed. But you see that he makes a good play defensively and runs the other end of the court. Huskies managed to corral the pass. Kaufman to Davidson. Drive, lays it off the glass short. Got the low side of the rim that time.
But again, I think they've got to do that. They've got to attack the basket. They really have not shot the ball very well, and they've been out on the perimeter. So change things up a little bit. At 31-15, got nothing to lose but the game.
Bollinger triggers the inbounds pass that comes loose to Kaufman. And here's Christensen. Finally, he gets his first bucket of the ball game. And he makes it 31-17. First basket of the second half goes over to the Huskies, but they need a lot more in a hurry.
Well, Jack, Christensen's averaging 14.6 points per game as we look at the...
What a running one-hander by Steve Seahair. That's his first bucket of the day.
But indicative of the problems Burlington's had in the first half. Their leading scorer, averaging almost 15 points a game, finally gets a basket at 6 minutes.
And here he is again to the elbow, shut off by the double team, has to bring the ball back out top. Bullinger with that left-hand dribble between the circles finds Kaufman. Kaufman guarded loosely by Burnett. They get a look in the lane. Fall away by Prater is good.
Well, if they continue to get those shots in the half-court execution, they really defended the post well, but weak side cut came open for that little 8-footer.
33-19. Tony Self wants to take a 30-second timeout with 6:10 to go here. Must just want to maybe settle the defense a little bit, you think?
Well, I think somebody's not talking. That last time, that little back pick on the weak side away from the ball allowed somebody to come open, and that's really one thing we didn't see in the first half is very many open shots. So, again, he's got to talk about what they did well to get to this point. That's play very solid defense in the half court.
Well, the shooting percentage up to 21%. Up to 21% for the Huskies on Prater's shot here as he got loose just inside the free throw line. It's tough when you say it's up to 21%. That's not a statistic that's going to win you a lot of ball games.
Well, Burlington still has going in their favor that they've played this team twice this year,
yes,
and they've won twice. So there's a lot of time left. They just have to make sure that they make every possession count with a good shot.
Eat away at the lead slowly as Davis steps up, fakes the shot, cross-courts it, and they'll go deep in the corner. Here's the dribble drive, and that's going to be an offensive foul, player control foul. Charles Lone Dog will get his first. That's the first for either team here in the second half.
But I don't think that's one thing that the Eagles can do, and that is get to the rim. Burlington really plays great position defense. That time rotation came from the weak side, and Prater sacrificed himself, and here's another possession opportunity.
I think I said Lone Dog's first. It's his third. Huskies looking down low, have Davidson on the block, tries to reverse it and draws the foul.
Well, he's going to contest that call, but again, you can't break that principle of verticality that time. Wilkinson in pretty good position to see that. And that's Lone Dog's fourth, and I think that's a huge foul because he's been a factor in the first half.
Davidson to the free throw line.
2 shots.
He is 2 for 6 at the stripe tonight. Symptomatic of the Huskies' problems. They are 6 out of 14, now make it 7 out of 15 at the line.
Well, that's the other way you get back into it as you whittle it away, as you said. Lead now 13, but you've got to convert at the free throw line.
Lone Dog will take a seat. Derek Arthur in, ball tapped around and controlled by the Eagles. Again, the Huskies just 1 out of 2 at the stripe, and Arthur will set it up out front. Davis to run the offense, 33-20, a 13-point margin. For the Eagles, who broke it open in the second quarter, now just trying to maintain that tough one-hander on the pump, no good, but the follow, that's no good, and here comes Burlington. Bullinger quickly. Working against Davis, who backs off. Bullinger with a kind roll, no, but the follow is no good either. Prater over the top will get called here.
Tough break on the first layup. Nice defense by the Eagles. They're battling. You see what kind of a rebounding team they are. And there's a few athletes out there that time. Burnett really got up around the glass with his board, and Prater did the same on this end.
So, 33-20 as Prater gets his third foul of the afternoon. Headed into early evening here at the Casper Event Center. Eagles in control. We'll try a long one-hander. That's good by Seahair.
Steve Seahair, 2.
So Seahair with his 4th point. Back the other way for Prater, and he is fouled.
A nice transition defense. Prater with a great catch and a takeaway, and was able to convert.
Number 45, Derek Arthur, his 3rd.
Derek Arthur will get his 3rd and the 3rd team foul of the half. Prater with a chance now to finish a 3-point play here.
Well, great look from the truck that time. You saw the body position and the foul. Nothing upstairs on Seahair, but with the body contact and a good call by Wilkinson down on the baseline.
Prater now is 7. He's the leading scorer for the Huskies as they draw within 12 here. Blackburn Loses his dribble, goes on the low post. They'll cross-court it, and a one-hander is no good. Over the top, the basket will not count because a foul is going to be called on the reach.
Well, Burnett not very happy with that call again, but going over the top, you want to stay out of foul trouble. You've got a comfortable 12-point lead, and don't reach over the top.
He gets his third, so Burnett with 3, Lone Dog with 4, Arthur with 3 for the Eagles. 12-point lead as the Huskies go on the attack. Christensen looking down low, and a pass knocked loose and taken away. Good hustle. Donovan Blackburn just went up high to snare that one for the Eagles. Back the other way. Looking to Arthur for a high one-hander that's no good. Gets his own rebound. The follow no good. Taps it up again, and it's no good, and Prater comes away.
A great offensive rebounder, and really that best offensive rebounder on the floor is the shooter, and he knew it was a little short, and he really crashed hard.
Christensen off the glass, no. Prater left hand, yes.
Great offensive rebound, makes a little trap dribble to gather himself and go up strong. Really a great putback. 10 points.
35-25. Eagles leading, and the Huskies mounting a little challenge here with 3:40 to go in the third. Davis trying to send everybody down low. Little shake and bake out front, now brings the dribble back out top. Now cutting into the lane, throws it intended for Blackburn. His pass back to Davis, stolen away. On the run out, this will be a left-hand layup by Christensen.
Well, they're back in this thing, Jack. 8 points, and Burlington getting a little bit more aggressive. The ball in the passing lanes. Willie No Sneap and Coach Pat Self really telling them to settle down a little bit.
Mike No Seep. You got my buddy Willie.
That's right.
The cousin. Here's the interception. Davidson for Bollinger, and a chance to cut into the lead as Davis steps in front of the pass, knocks it to us. And the Huskies will maintain control as we'll take a timeout. 2:51 to play in the third. Burlington gets back in it. They still trail by 8. 35, St. Stephen's 27 for Burlington.
Wyoming Medical Center, central to Wyoming's well-being.
Burlington on the attack, and it's stolen away. Burnett steps in front of the pass. His lead is too strong for Donovan Blackburn.
That's too bad. Burnett really got off the post. They were trying to shape up in the post, and offensive player just let him off his back. You've got to keep that defender sealed until that ball gets her.
8-point lead. The Eagles have led by as many as 17. Huskies cutting back into it. Going to the high post. Prater give and go. Bollinger tucks it under. His shot blocked by Blackburn. They have some guys who can get up around the hoop, don't they?
Well, that was great team defense. Blackburn came from the weak side to get that block. Ran a little short 17, came off a high post rub, and he was all the way to the basket. And Blackburn really came a long ways to make that block.
Lynn Wynn with the basketball out front. Finds Arthur, and they'll cross-court it out top. Burnett, one dribble. Tries to get it to Davis, almost threw it out of bounds. Davis saves along the sideline and brings it back out. Davis has worked against Kaufman all night. Here's the spin, and Blackburn in trouble, runs right in to Davidson. Numbers the other way for the Huskies. And they'll try the shot from the right side and nail it. That's a 3-ball by Stetson Kaufman, his first points of the ball game, and all of a sudden it's a 5-point margin.
And all of a sudden we have a pretty good basketball game going.
35-30. Eagles on top, but the lead is dwindling. Here's Davis. See if he goes one-on-one. To the right side, to the baseline, pulls up, dishes back out top. Davis from the elbow, little pump is no good. Long rebound will be controlled by Burlington.
And they are really not letting the Eagles penetrate and get to the basket at all. They're really forcing them into a jump shooting team, which is to their advantage.
Well, if the Huskies were shell-shocked at the halfway mark, they have gotten a little bit better here in the second half, and that'll do it. Davidson, who's missed a bunch of puppies, gets the layup to make it a 3-point ball game.
Well, they are attacking the basket. They hit a 3, but they're starting to attack the ball and play the high percentages.
35-32, final minute of the third quarter. Burlington has come from 16 down at the halfway mark. See if St. Stephen's gets the final shot. Here's Davis into the paint, draws 4 people to him, loses the ball, loose ball still picked up, by Burlington. Huskies can get with one in one rather, or tie.
And as you said, Jack, 4 white shirts got to the ball and dove into the lane on penetration that time.
4 points for St. Stephen's thus far in the third quarter. Christensen out top for the tie. Yes!
Christensen.
35 all. Final moments, third quarter.
And I'm not sure Davis knows how much time's left.
Gets the pick. Launches a long three that's off the glass. Will go to quarter number 4. All even. Burlington 35, St. Stephen's 35. After shooting 16% in the opening half, the Huskies go 8 for 13, 61% in the third quarter. Turn a 15-point deficit into a tie as we head to the fourth. Burlington's basketball. Davidson can't get it to go, and Davis will clear it away for the Eagles.
We're down to an 8-minute ball game, and that lead went in a hurry. A 20-4 run as we look at Davis with the take.
And the tip-up is good by Blackburn. Donovan's first points of the ball game. Averages 12 a contest.
Well, he's really an athlete. He was up around the basket, keeping that thing alive, and we'll see if Burlington can't keep that run going in their half-court execution. Continue to attack the basket.
Prater lost it in the lane, but Christensen, look what I found for a little 10-footer.
Really like what Burlington's doing, though, starting to attack the basket, the inside of the lane with Prater. Every possession, you've got to look inside. You get a charge call.
We're tied at 37, and the charging call is going to be on Blackburn. That's his third. That'll be the 15th foul.
Wow. If we can't take a look at this on the dribble drive.
Just kind of put the elbow into him.
That's one of those, if you're St. Stephen's, you want to watch the replay.
Yep. And say no call. Here we go with a chance for the Huskies to go on top for the first time since they led 2-0 in the opening minute. And they will on a three-pointer. Kaufman with his second of the ball game. He's got 6.
That time the ball goes into the post to Davidson. Davis doubles down, leaves his man on the perimeter, which is a pretty good move in the first half, but right now they're shooting the ball pretty well. Got to make a choice. What's your poison?
Kaufman is 2 out of 3 from the field. All 3 have been three-point attempts. Davis with a tough fall away, no good, and the putback is good. Wynn went down, but Gambler held on and put it home.
A great effort by Gambler going up top and taking the ball away from a teammate for that easy putback.
40-39, they're going to call Wynn here. Little shoulder-to-shoulder defense out front. It'll be his first, team foul number 6. Next one means that the Huskies will be going to the strike.
Well, that'll make a difference, but Huskies not shooting the ball particularly well from the first half, but they've changed the tide there.
Christensen, low post feed. Prater, turnaround, got it.
Well, he's really an athlete. He goes to another level when he elevates, and I think you got to continue to double down if they're going to post him up.
They posted him up in the first half. He couldn't get anything to fall. He's now 5 out of 10 from the field. Here's Davis trying to work the left side for a running one-hander that's no good, and the rebound now taken away by the Huskies, who really have gone to the defensive boards with a vengeance.
Well, Davidson and Prater both are excellent rebounders, and this is just a nice matchup of athletes in the paint right now.
Bollinger almost loses, finds the high post. Prater loops it out front. Davidson will retreat, bring the dribble back out top, and get it to the guard.
And Burlington really making some better decisions in the half court that time. Prater recognizing they're out of balance, doesn't have anything, takes it back outside the arc as we look at the one-on-one.
Christensen with an air ball, had Blackburn in his face, and then a travel called. On the rebound, it'll go over to St. Stephen's. 5:22 still left in this one. And Burlington with its biggest lead of the ball game, 3, after trailing by as many as 17.
Well, in that last possession, not real good for Burlington. I just got done saying I thought they were making some pretty good decisions, and that dribble drive fadeaway puts them in a pretty tough position. I'm not sure they have to settle for those shots right now.
Blackburn loses his dribble, gets it out top. Lone Dog back in with a running hook that's good.
Yeah, that was.
He is athletic.
That was just a great move, taking the ball hard away from the basket. Nice defense. Puts the ball high on the square and converts.
Cuts the lead to 1. Under 5 to play in the 1A boys title game. Give and go. Christensen will go to the line for a pair. If that's Lone Dogs, it's his 5th.
Well, that was just great execution. Eagles getting down and pressuring the ball a little bit. Ball goes into the post. They turn their head from the wing, and wing back cuts to the basket. Got a chance to convert.
Lone Dog fouls out with 12. Here's a final from Salt Lake City, Utah 69, Wyoming 67 in overtime. And that is women's basketball. The Cowgirls trying to beat a top 25 team for the 3rd time this season. They lose by a deuce.
Well, and that's still a team that's maybe on the bubble. I think certainly qualifies as an NCAA qualifier. That's a tough loss on the road for Coach Joe Legursky.
Well, a timeout. Tony Self wants to talk about it, and they will come back, of course, with Burlington at the free throw line. It was 10-7 at the end of the first quarter in favor of St. Stephen's, 31-15 at the half, tied at 35 all at the end of 3. So it has been a tale of 2 halves here this afternoon.
Well, and Coach Self, all I can remember at halftime, he was so pleased with the way his team had played, and I'm not so sure they've come out and done anything different, but Burlington certainly has. They've shot the ball a lot better, and their half-court execution is to go into the pivot and make the Eagles play defense inside.
You know, if you're St. Stephen's, you remember what you did to Farson last night coming from behind. You got to remember it can happen to you, and that's exactly what's happened to the Eagles here in the second half.
Well, I think they're beyond a little bit of self-doubt. You know, they know they're going to have to beat this team 3 times, but right now they've already demonstrated that they can play with them, and we're just under 5 minutes, 42-41 Burlington lead.
Christensen 1 out of 2 at the line. That one's going to go off the heel, and it'll be 1 out of 3. Still not a very good shooting night. 8 for 18 for the Huskies at the stripe. Doesn't get the roll. And here comes St. Stephen's. Eagles with a chance to go back on top.
The 2 big misses on that free throw, what looked like was going to be an easy layup, but it did cost the Eagles Lone Dog as we look at the drive and the nice dish for 2.
Arthur with his 5th point, and St. Stephen's back on top now as we approach 4 minutes to go.
St. Stephen's still in the half-court man. Both these teams playing a lot like each other right now in terms of defense, but here's the pass, one-on-one in the post.
Prater can't get it to go. Christensen corrals it and brings it out of the timber. Goes back to the right side elbow, then backs the dribble away.
Nice job. Now they got a reset, try to look it inside again.
Davidson is going to miss the shot and then come underneath Darren Davis and draw the foul. That'll be his 2nd, and the 2nd team foul.
Well, look at Davidson on this replay. I felt like if he would have just taken the ball hard to the glass, he would have been fouled, but he let the defense take the position away, and we look at Davis and Davidson scrapping.
43-42. Eagles with the ball in a 1-point lead. Down low. Burnett shut off for Blackburn. Yes.
Basket is good. Donovan Blackburn.
Well, he's a kid we've talked about, has a great work ethic and spends a lot of time in the weight room, and that's where the weight room pays off now in the last couple of minutes.
Blackburn picks off the pass in the paint. Under 3.5 to go. Davis, his team now back on top by 3.
If I'm the Eagles, I take a look at a little 2-man game.
Blackburn rises from 17. No, ball tapped around, and Christensen comes out of the fray for the Huskies. He'll leave it for Bollinger. Approaching 3 to play.
This is the stage of the game, Jack, where you really got to have your athletes step up. The ones that have been big for you all year, you got to take a look at them.
Bollinger, 3-pointer that's an air ball. Davis, perfect pass to him on the far side.
Nice design play. I think they were looking for that. Burnett accepted that down screen from the lane. I think he was looking for that the whole way.
Back the other way. Davis bumped, and a foul going to be whistled on Stetson Kaufman. We'll get a timeout. Still 2:44 to go here in the final quarter. The defending champions, 2-time defending champion Eagles leading 45-42. Well, you see Dan LaRose there, his ball club, as you so often see, battling back from a huge deficit. And did they run out of gas? Because they got the lead, and now they are behind again with 2:44 to go. Jack Noakes, Matt Stranigan at the Casper Event Center, the first of our 4 broadcasts here this afternoon. And it's been a dandy between the two-time defending champs and the last team to win a 1A boys title that wasn't St. Stephen's. That would be the Burlington Huskies.
Well, we'll see what the Eagles have left in the tank in terms of gas, too. They invested a lot last night as we see a Burlington foul, but they were down 15-0 last night to get back in it. And I think right now that might be his fourth.
John Christensen, it's his second. I thought maybe they were going to get Prater with his fourth. Davis to trigger it. That's a tough pass, and that will be Prater with his fourth foul.
Well, and that's a tough call, but I think the right call. Both those kids going up for it. And right now, if I'm a Burlington coach, I really hate to see Prater go back to the sidelines, and I'm not sure Dan LaRose agrees with that call.
I don't think so, but he's going to leave his post player out there.
2 minutes, I think you have to.
Yep.
Bright kid, you just got to be very smart and don't get anything inside tough.
45-42, we go to the 2-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Blackburn out front with Burnett, and they'll get it to Davis. Swinging around on the outside now. Trying to get an open look for Blackburn. Bollinger on him. He'll drive and draw the foul. The basket no good.
Well, that's probably the first time I've seen a dribble drive start at the arc and get to the basket. He's got a chance to increase that three-point lead right now.
Bollinger gets his third, 15 foul. It'll be a two-shot foul.
Well,
here.
there's the dribble drive and just what we talked about. Prater's the one that normally rotates over, but he's got 4 fouls. He's got to stay put and can't really sell out on that defensive play.
Blackburn will go to the free throw line here. A little conference going on at the officials' table right now.
The St. Stephen's shooter will be Donovan Blackburn.
Good look at Coach Self. There's a look at Mark Wilkinson, and I spent about 13 years criticizing these guys in the stripes, but you got to mention that these guys get here for a reason. They're evaluated during the course of the year, and you don't get here if you're not a pretty good official. And at 45-42, they're going to have some tough calls to make.
Something going on at one of the ends of the arena, and not sure exactly what, but we're making sure everything is okay. And Donovan Blackburn will step up to the free throw line. First one is good. His first free throw of the ball game. Blackburn with 5 points out of the ball game.
One of the Eagles' captains, and this is who you want at the line. There's a reason these kids are the captains. From a leadership standpoint, he demonstrates the skill that goes along with it right there.
Build the lead back to 5 with 2 minutes to play in the 1A boys title game.
I think you got to push it and you got to attack the basket with Prater.
Here we go. Bollinger outside, out top for Christensen. Guarded by Blackburn. Davidson has gone to the basket hard tonight. Turns, pivots, lays it up.
Really nice execution. It's got to be Prater. It's got to be Davidson. You want to take the ball inside to those two athletes, but run out of time. You got to get a possession back here.
47-44 with 1.5 to go. Davis backs away. Out top, double team now. They'll get it to Davis down low. His pass in the lane stolen away.
Well, that's just great defense. Lost his man and really recovered to the basket. And when you lose your man, that's exactly where the ball's going. So great defensive effort.
Paul Christensen, who checked in to line up on the dead ball with the steal. Now it's Prater out top as we approach a minute to go. 3-point lead for the Eagles. Davidson throws up a prayer, not answered. Volleyballed around, tipped up and in, and I think that was tipped in by Burnett. I'm almost sure. I don't know who they'll credit the basket
to. Well, it's got to go to Prater, but I think you're right. Prater and Burnett were both airborne, and we've got a 1-point game, 1-possession game.
I think it may have been off of Burnett's hand. You give it to the player closest, and it will be 47-46 with 48 ticks left. Wow.
And if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but if I was early on, I wasn't sure this was going to turn into this type of game. You have to give a lot of credit to Burlington for getting back in this thing, because I think it's not what the Eagles have done in terms of making mistakes or getting away from what they did in the first half. It's just been a matter of Burlington getting back in this thing.
Burlington, number 1 throughout the season, 23-3. St. Stephen's defending champions, 17-12. Here's the shot, and then the tip again, and it is. Yep, It was tipped up by Wombley Burnett. Give credit to Prater for the score.
Well, I think give credit to Burnett and Burlington for really getting after that possession, about 3 or 4 touches. And really, again, I like what Burlington's doing. The ball goes in the hands of Davidson right now. In the last 2 possessions, looks like they're just going to go ahead and take Davis off the dribble drive and either force him to foul or get to the line.
47-46. Eagle basketball in the backcourt with just under 49 seconds to go. Blackburn lobs it in.
It may go to Davis. He's averaging 24 points a game. He's been the scorer all year, but Burnett's pretty tough in the pivot right now.
Playing keep away. When do you foul if you're Burlington here? And who do you foul? Probably not Blackburn or Davis. Down to 30 seconds. Chasing the length of the court. Davis will go to the line and shoot 1-and-1. That is the 17th foul.
Well, and who do you want at the line? A guy that averages 24 points a game, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. That's a pretty good year.
Kaufman will check out.
Eagle shooter
Christensen and Burnett come back in as Dan LaRose was substituting defensively, letting some of the guys who got fouls give them. Here comes the guy with the hair, the goggles, and pretty darn good athlete. Played football for Riverton this year. Doesn't get the roll. Tipped around, and Prater comes away. Final 30 seconds. Burlington has a chance to go ahead.
But Dan Rose signaling a play. We'll see what this turns out. Double high post set.
Bollinger. Prater set the pick. Blackburn ran into it and picked up the foul. 16.5 seconds to go.
A tough break for Blackburn. They went with a double high post set. They're going to do an on-ball screen. Maybe look at a pick and roll inside.
That is the 17th foul, 8th team foul for the Eagles. We're shooting as Blackburn gets his 4th. Well, right there on the pick.
Defensively, Davis has got to tell him that screen's coming and maybe switch out a little bit higher. Don't let that dribbler come off that screen. But we talked about the impact that Prater has had on this game. He's got a chance to put this one up.
First one will tie it. His 14th point of the ball game. He's 4 for 6 at the free throw line. Tony Self looking on. Chance for the Huskies to go up by 1. They do. Timeout going to be taken by Burlington to set the defense here with 16.5 to play. That's 16.5 seconds and a 1-point lead.
So here again, I still come back to the Eagles. Davis has been their go-to guy all year long, but I really think Burlington's going to play position defense and maybe sacrifice that outside shot. I don't think they're going to let him get to the basket. So the flip side of it, I want to take advantage of the athlete, and maybe Burnett in the post, maybe Davis in the post. But I think right now you got to take it to the rim because you might only have one shot, 16 seconds.
Lone Dog fouled out. Davis with 9 points. Blackburn has 6, all of them here in the 4th quarter of play. He's been a force for him here in the 4th quarter and gotten them back in after they fell behind at one time.
Well, right now, Coach Self probably analyzing what he's going to do, and I think you got to look at 2 things. And maybe the one thing you got to be bracing for is athleticism right here. Davis, the ball is always in his hands. Do you go to a 1-4, flatten out Burlington, and let Davis go one-on-one, which is maybe a skill he's got better than anybody in this place.
Brandon Christensen talking to the official, making sure, telling him when they want a timeout if certain things happen. He will take a seat as the defensive troops are in right now for the Huskies. Guys who can give some fouls. Davis to trigger the inbounds pass. Against pressure, they clear it ahead to Blackburn. Blackburn to the right side. Out top. Burnett almost stumbled, got his dribble back just in time. Give it to Davis. Down the right side, running one-hander. No! He traveled with the basketball. Wipe out the basket with 5 seconds to go.
You know, and I'm not sure St. Stephen's is going to agree with that call, but if we could take a look at it again, I think he had to walk all the way. Davis sees the open lane to the basket. There's the rotation over. See Davis on the dribble dive. Rotation comes from the weak side. He's there. And as a result, he's either got to knock him down or travel. Tough call.
Tough call. Burlington will get it underneath the Eagle hoop with 5 seconds. 5.2. That's all that stands between the Huskies and a state championship.
Stranger things have happened, but if you're
We've
Burlington,
seen them.
you just want to catch the ball and take care of it like it's your newborn.
5.2 seconds to go. You want to get it in the hands, obviously, of somebody who can shoot a free throw.
You know, the second half, it's been a lot of them. You know, Prater hits the 2 clutch free throws on this last possession, and you really have to give a lot of credit for those 2 guys in the post. They've just played exceptionally well against a really athletic basketball team.
48-47, Huskies by 1. Their biggest lead's been 3. They trailed by as many as 17. Trying to pull off the trifecta against St. Stephen's. St. Stephen's trying to pull off the trifecta with its 3rd championship in a row. Here we go. That ball baseline underneath the Eagle basket. They'll trigger the inbounds pass and get it to Courtney Neves. Neves, a substitute with a 3-pointer, will go to the free throw line to shoot 1 and 1.
Well, if you want to foul somebody, Tony Self's going to get a timeout, but I think if you can pick and choose, you can put the reserve on the line that maybe hasn't been out there all the time, but Neves, as you said, he's hit a big shot, and he's got a chance to hit a couple even bigger ones.
The Huskies now 17 of 49, still just 35% from the field, just 10 for 21 at the stripe. The Eagles 20 for 44 from the field, 45%, but they have not had nearly as many shots in the second half as they had in the first.
Well, and the rebounding disparity that we talked about that Burlington has had on opponents all year, they've really bumped it up a little bit in the second half. It was even Steven at the half, but Burlington has really crashed the boards and has an advantage at this point in time.
36-31, turnovers 8, Burlington 16 for the Eagles. Second chance points 10 for the Eagles, just 7 for the Huskies. Points off turnovers, Burlington with 18. That's a key stat.
Well, with 8 turnovers, I think anybody that watches St. Stephen's play all year long, if you've only turned the ball over 8 times against them, I think you've got to be very pleased with your passing and your ability to avoid turnovers.
Courtney Neves, 5'10", a senior, hit a 3-pointer that sort of got things going in the third quarter for the Huskies, and now has a chance to make it a 3-point ball game. This is a 1-and-1, and it's no good. The rebound, though, to the Huskies. Davidson will be grabbed with 1.8 seconds to go. He has had a bunch of rebounds here this evening. That is his 10th of the ball game.
Well, and really the best thing I thought he did that time was just gather himself, take care of the basketball, and he was not going to give up another possession and take it up. He was either going to kill the clock or eat the foul.
Tony Self, proud of the academic accomplishments of his team, took over this program. Nobody on the honor roll, had a bunch on this year. Wins 2 state championships, competes for a 3rd in his 3rd year, and now just a tick under 2 seconds away from going home with the 2nd place trophy.
Well, you're exactly right. This is one of those tough ones. Dan LaRose is telling them, please, nobody go over the back.
You miss a free throw, let him get it.
Well, you're right. Tony Self made a comment this morning, and we were talking to all the coaches that really tells me that he's got it in perspective. You'd love to win a championship, and he's going to be hard-pressed to pull one out here, but he made them a remark that 8 of the 12 of his kids are on the honor roll, and he said he's as proud of that fact as anything associated with this team. And I think that really tells you a lot about an individual, and it tells you even more about a ball club and an assembly of kids.
What do you draw up with less than 2 seconds to go? First of all, you got to hope they miss the free throw. Actually, if they make both free throws and you get the ball, you might have a better chance going.
Well, at this point, Jack, you're hoping against hope.
Prayer against prayer.
You clear the lane offensively, or you just make sure that your kids do not give them any opportunity. Stand still, let them go 95 feet. But Davis might be the kind of guy that can do that. So again, as we mentioned, we've seen it before.
They will double team him.
Ross is shooting 2 shots.
If you can double team on a free throw.
Whatever you do, I don't think you foul.
Neves steps back, and he is the man who is the defensive back, if you will, the free safety. First free throw is no good by Ross Davidson. Second one on the way. That one is good. Here we go. Davis will launch for a 3-pointer, and this ball game is in the books, and the state championship moves to Burlington. The Huskies 49, St. Stephen's 47. What a finish and what a great game for the Huskies. Jack Noakes, Matt Stranahan back at the event center. The 1A boys title game in the books. It was a Donnybrook as Burlington falls behind by 17, rallies to beat the two-time defending champion St. Stephen Eagles 49-47.
But Jack, we thought St. Stephen's really needed to start the game on top, get off the tip, play well early on, which they did, leading by as much as 15, 16 points that first half. But Burlington really turned the tide.
They turned the tide, and they did it in the third quarter, coming from 15 points down. They kind of dominated the third quarter, fell behind late in the fourth, and then got a couple of big plays when they needed them.
Well, it's really a senior-dominated team, Jack. These kids, they've played well together all year, and I think to win championships, you've got to be talent-laden in the senior class, and a credit to Coach LaRose, and really a great effort by his kids.
Josh Prater had 15, 10 for Ross Davidson, 10 for Brandon Christensen, who didn't score but a point in the first half. They kind of needed that senior leadership, and they came through in the third and fourth quarters.
Well, and you mentioned those two kids, Prater and Davidson, really stood out for me. I thought they really turned the tide, especially in the offensive half court. 25 points the second half between those two kids alone, so outstanding effort.
The Huskies finished 24-3, only one loss to a 1A team, Hannah. Their other two losses were to Grable, so they got it done and win a championship. Their last one was in 2003. The next two belong to St. Stephen's, and it's always tough to get those three in a row.
Well, and as you take a look at St. Stephen's receiving their runner-up trophy, you want to come here and you want to win a championship, but as the point I alluded to, these kids have turned it around academically, and really, in the long run, what's more important, the championship or who you are as a citizen? So they got to take a great deal of pride in the season that they've had and just the fact that they've made it to a state championship game.
Our next game has another team trying to win its third in a row. Encampment coming up against Lingle, a team that we saw pull off maybe the upset of the tournament last night when they beat Guernsey. They may not think it was an upset, but Guernsey was the only unbeaten team left in the state.
Well, it says so much about the programs. You mentioned Encampment, St. Stephen's. These are programs that are playing for state championships year after year, and the funny thing about that, when you're on top, when you beat them, like we saw Guernsey go down last night, an undefeated season team, you got to play that much better, and everybody's looking for you week after week. And to see Burlington separate themselves from everybody else with a state championship, when you're number one all year, that's pretty tough to do.
17 of 49 from the field. They didn't shoot the ball very well, but they were opportunistic, if you will, with their three-pointers in the second half where they hit 4 of them. And again, the rebounding edge, they got some key rebounds at key moments of the ball game, and that kind of spelled the end for St. Stephen's.
Well, and they really beat an athletic team. St. Stephen's, as I said, watching them warm up. Davis is an explosive kid. Burnett is a kid that really was an athletic kid. And for Davidson and Prater and some of those other kids to mix it up, you want to come here and you want to get the hardware. And they're not going to remember how they shot the first half, but I'll guarantee you they will remember that moment right there.
Dan LaRose moved here from Omaha, be with his wife's parents, or mother, I guess, after dad had died, and big change from small-town Burlington compared to Omaha, and he gets a state title.
Well, a high school player at Bellevue, Nebraska. I think they talked about winning a state championship here, but from the standpoint of coaching, there is no better feeling in the world to be standing up on that stage. It's just a culmination of your kids coming together and working hard all year. There really just is not a better feeling in athletics.
49-47 your final. The Eagles going down to defeat after winning 2 consecutive boys 1A titles, and it was the Burlington Huskies who beat them twice in the regular season by 25 and 17. It wasn't that way tonight, though. It was down to the final seconds of the ball game.
We talked about senior leadership. I think Coach LaRose mentioned that 6 or 7 of these kids are going to go on a mission, so their task in life is going to get more difficult, but the celebration is worth it. A great victory over an outstanding St. Stephen's team.
So St. Stephen's will finish the year at 15-13, another successful year for the Eagles, and another appearance 3 in 3 years for Tony Self in the championship game. This one did not turn out the way that the first 2 did. And for Burlington, Huskies have always been a force in basketball. Seems like they're here in the Final Four or Final Eight every year in Casper, and this time they pick up the trophy. Their last one was in the year 2003. Congratulations to both teams on a hard-fought, well-played basketball game.
Well, you mentioned Burlington and Burlington's championship flavor. St. Stephen's is going to be a force to reckon with. They return Lone Dog as a sophomore, Burnett's a junior, Seahair's a junior, Blackburn's a junior, Davis is an underclassman. This is a team that's only going to get better.
Let's go up to the Pepsi desk now. Brian Scott standing by with the victors in the 1A boys title game.
Thanks, fellas. Actually, we get the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with our Pacific Power player of the game. His name is Josh Prater, 15 points. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What happened at halftime? I mean, what really turned it around for you as a player and for the team at halftime?
I don't know. We knew we had to win it, and that's what we had to do.
Well, it's by golly, you got it done. Hey, we go to our friend Steve from Pacific Power. And Steve, if you don't mind, maybe a presentation here.
Thank you, Josh. On behalf of Pacific Power, we'd like to present this plaque to you as the Power Player of the game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're very proud of you.
Thank you, Steve. And thanks to Pacific Power. As you came back out, again, a large contribution during the course of the second half of the game, 15 points for yourself. Did something just finally turn on mentally for you? I mean, what happened for you and with you in the second half?
We had to win, and I don't know. That's what we had to do it.
By golly, it's again, you got it done. Coach, what do you think?
Oh, man, I tell you what, that first half was very tough for us. We got sucked into playing that style that we had talked about earlier, made some poor choices offensively on our shot selection. Talked about at halftime that we had to play Burlington Husky basketball one possession at a time. Our goal was to cut that lead down to about, under 10 is what you usually want. We were hoping around 5, and we never thought we'd have a 20-point quarter there and hold them to 4 points. Tied it up. It was a whole new ball game then. Fourth quarter, we just had to win to the timeout and then win that last duration there.
Coach, truly it was a runaway. I mean, it felt like a runaway in the first half of the game. Did you have a Lombardi-style speech planned for halftime? I mean, what exactly happened at halftime?
I just challenged the kids. They're great ball players. They're great kids, and we weren't just playing our basketball. We weren't playing the basketball that got us this far. So we just challenged them possession at a time. Defense has always been our strength. We said defensive stops leads us to offensive possessions. One at a time. We just made sure that every possession that we had counted. We really limited our turnovers in the second half and took care of the ball and made our shots, made some big shots.
Tough for you. 7 seniors go away. You've got 1 junior. You've got 3-4 sophomores. What happens next year?
Next year we're going to be able to reload. It's not rebuild. We've got some good talent. We got some good talent, young talent. It might take a few hits there. We got a pretty tough schedule. We always play 10 2A schools before we get to our first 1A. So we might have a learning experience for the first half of the season, but I guarantee you by regional, we're going to be hitting on cylinders. We got a great group of young kids, but we're going to miss these 7 seniors. These 7 seniors, it's been my honor to coach them. Pleasure. I can't say enough about the heart of these guys. Bullinger, he took a pretty big spill there and played with a knot in his back. It felt like it was about the size of a golf ball. Just sucked it up. The heart and the effort that these guys did, they deserve this state championship.
Congratulations, Coach. Congratulations to you, young man.
Thank you, sir.
And again, this is the way basketball is to be played. This is 1A State High School Basketball Championship. The boys under our belts, the girls. Now next, we've still got a lot of action coming your way from the floor of the Casper Event Center. We'll get back to it right after this.